Get out. Good that we are not doing this live. Okay, so welcome to Build Agents for the Real World Hackathon version 2. And yeah, welcome Viral, our AI expert and lead on Celo. JM, how are you?
Hey, Leah, I'm good. How are you?
Okay, good. Lovely. Okay, so this video basically is just a very quick intro to the hackathon, gives you an overview about prices and operational information like dates, and then Viral will share some ideas. If you took part in the first hackathon, you might have gone through the idea list, but now this month we had some incredible, exciting launches, especially focused on DeFi projects on Celo, and also some other interesting ones. And Viral has some new ideas around very cool apps that agents that you can build on top of that. So let me get started already. So the hackathon kicks off today with this video. Yay. And runs till the 18th of March. We will have amazing judges, Viral, AI lead at Celo, Marek, and CEO of Celo, and Luke, who is leading Celo PG, which have been doing incredible work in growing our community and chain activity. Let's start with the most important part, the prices. We have the main track, which is Best Agent on Celo, with first prize gets 3K, second 2K, third 1K. Then we have an infra track for where the first prize gets 2K, and then this can be combined with both of those tracks. It's just whoever reaches out of all of the hackathon projects, registered hackathon projects, gets the highest rank on any 8,004 scan that on Celo will receive 500 USDT extra. We are back now. Right. Cool. Okay. So now that we're done with prices, the most important part, let's move on to submissions. How do you register for this hackathon? You register on Karma. That's our platform for all projects. At the end of the slides, we are sharing a QR code, so you can just scan that. You will find the Notion page with all information. And then you also the link on where to register the project. Then you just build for 2 weeks. Make sure to register your agent with 8004. Also very nice, register with Molthunt. Keep posting about it, but at the end for the submission, you need one tweet where you add all the important links to Karma and your agent on a scan. And then we have a submission form on Karma where you submit your project and the submission tweet. And that's as easy as that. And then we already add the ideas. We're all. Do you want to help people understand what they can build for this hackathon?
Yes. So I'll start with, like, if you don't know about version 1, in version 1, we started with an idea of focusing more on payments and real world ideas. And we want to build on top of that. But this time, we would like to increase the scope of the project. So it won't be just a remittance app, or it won't be just let's say a splitting application, right? Because that's a very niche, and we wanted to build up on this idea that let's start with some version 1 of your product, and as this hackathon is version 2, we would like to encourage more projects building more smarter agents, more intelligent agents, which would be not just one LLM model sitting behind a bunch of VM functions, but it would be an army of agents that can gather information, that can reason on a particular problem, and then make decisions and then act on it. So we will share the list of ideas. And this list of ideas, we have like a big list of 20 good ideas, which are different from the last hackathon. So in total, we have like list of 35 to 40 project ideas that you can go forward with, and it doesn't necessarily have to pick one idea. That's what we saw in the last hackathon, where I would say 90% of the people just choose one idea and build on top of it. So ideally, go through the product and see what features or functions make sense, and don't need to build on the exit idea we've built, but whatever makes sense to you, what are the problem you have seen day-to-day life, try to solve those problems. And also, I would say use OpenClaw. It would save your time, not for building the application, but OpenClaw as an agent. And yeah.
Is there like a specific setup for everybody who is new to OpenClaw or even who got started a month ago? Is there like a setup you recommend for anybody who wants to get started quite quickly?
Yes. So, I mean, if you're a developer and you're not going to share private access to your Gmail or Google, then the easiest way is to just install it in your local system. And it's very straightforward, just run one command from the documentation and install everything. But if you want a hosted version, if you're building for Hackathon, then there's this really good asset from DigitalOcean. Lena, if you can share the link. This is a very straightforward documentation where you can one-click deploy OpenClaw inside DigitalOcean, and it's very secure. And also, if you don't know how to follow this particular article, just YouTube how to deploy OpenClaw, and there are a bunch of videos which explains how to deploy agents in a safe way. And the project doesn't necessarily have to be code. Like this is what I've seen in other hackathons. That's not just Web3, but every Web2 hackathons, that people are building skills as a hackathon. Like you don't need to code an application in Next.js, Node.js, Python. It could be just OpenClaw with very specific skills and MCP servers and tools that you can interact with as let's say Telegram bot or Discord bot. That is also good enough. If you have a really good idea, that is also like a hackathon winning idea, right? So, and that's what's happening in all the Web2 AI hackathons. Yeah.
What, like, from version 1 of this hackathon, of the agent hackathon and Celo, what is your main feedback for submissions? What helps you understand the submission well and the quality of an agent? Is like good documentation helpful, a good description? Do you want to see like a README, or what? How do you judge projects? Or how also just around judging, we will have judges, but those judges will just prepare some skills that will be added to some agent judges. So also the judging will be mainly automated. So how would you recommend somebody to make sure to have a good submission that will be rated high to like showcase all of the skills they built?
Yes, so this automated judges, it's good that you brought up. So this automated judges won't be like just Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini models. It will be specifically trained for the three judges that you mentioned, like me, Marek, and Luke. So we all will be creating personalized skills that how I would judge a project, how Marek or Luke would judge a project. And the skills will be used by OpenClaw to judge each project. And based on like what you asked about, like what was the problem I saw in version 1 projects, I would say the biggest problem was over engineering. A lot of the projects were really good and they had a really good idea. The only thing is they had 2 weeks, and agents can do so much in 2 weeks that people usually tends to over engineer. So focus on minimal, very niche idea and execute it 100% of the time, rather than having 50 different features which only works 50% of the time. So again, like I would say, build a very niche idea, but make it properly. Like don't over engineer, because this is again something that I've recently seen, where if you give very vague instructions to LLMs, they'll over engineer everything. So make sure UI, everything that you put in when you submit works, because there will be an agent who's clicking through every features, every README, every code, everything. And then if anything doesn't work that you have pushed out, then it will like reduce your score.
Yeah, I think that's amazing feedback. I feel the same when I see projects where I see so many things and nothing is working. I always ask the people, why did you not focus on making one thing work and remove everything that's not working? Because we don't know what's working. We will click everything and then we think
things that are not working.
You just build like a mock version and nothing works. coming back to the ideas, any like exciting new ideas that you added to the new to the list that you, I don't know.
Yeah, one of the idea was around agent teams and agent economies. Like whatever you do in real life, just as a visualized version of AI agents. So let's say you are a company of teams who like invest in crypto. So there would be one guy who does research. There would be one guy who invests. There would be one guy who manages keys, stuff like that, right? So this is a very vague idea. What if you can visualize it in an office space, like just literally an office space with tables, there are avatars moving around, and every agent is not just an agent, because we've seen like 2 years ago people used to do this in metaverse where every person is an avatar, but it doesn't do anything. But in this case, every avatar can be an agent that you can talk to, because these are intelligent LLM models that work on a specific thing. So I've seen this as a very trend where whatever used to happen in the real world being done in virtual, but each person has their own agent moving around in the virtual world. So yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh, I love that. It's like good. Yeah. I think last week I also saw a presentation of somebody who kind of like made a whole design agency with like 30 people. He moved on to running a design agency with 10 agents. And then they were also all in one office and were like working, talking to each other,
Yeah.
walking around. And yeah, I think it's
And it's so easy with OpenClaw. Like OpenClaw literally has this feature inbuilt where you can have multiple personalities, multiple tone of work. So just one OpenClaw can handle the backend of whole thing without writing a single line of code.
yeah. Okay, nice. Cool. Anything else that we want to help people, advise people for the upcoming hackathon?
Just one thing, like I wanted to put it out that if you like when you submit, make sure that nothing is mocked and whatever you're pushing works, because like there will be at the end an agent who's going through your code and your application at the same time. So if you like just put out something as a mocked information, that will be tracked, and yeah, so just ship anything that is working.
Yeah, and yeah, keep it lean. Don't over-engineer. Main advice. Cool. And then we have the ideas. You can bring existing projects and new projects. Tips and tricks we already covered. Just keep it lean. Don't submit mock stuff. And here is the QR code to sign up. And yeah, I think that's already it from us. Have fun building. We will announce some office hours so you can get feedback on your idea, on your existing agent. And we'll announce them very soon. Cool. Happy hacking. Happy hackathon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.